So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first simulation of the INKINDLE brand and program. So, whether you are joining us on Google Meet or watching us live on YouTube, we are saying a very big welcome to everybody, and we do not take your presence on this program for granted. And INKINDLE is not just a webinar, it is a conversation, and we are glad to have you all part of the program. So tonight we are going to hear from someone whose story carries weight. We are going to sit down tonight with ideas that might shift something in us for the better. And we're going to do it together and not just alone. We are doing it together as a community through our screens. And so that is the aim of tonight's conversation. And yes, I can see our Google Meet family joining us. We say a very big welcome to you all. And also to those watching us on YouTube, we see you too. A very big welcome. And yes, so distance is not a barrier. And so you can drop your hello in the comment section, and so that we can know that you are with us and that we are in this together. You are very much a part of this conversation as it is with everyone else. And I'm sure that many of us here, we must have had friendships or friendship that did not end the way that we expected. Maybe it forwarded, or maybe it broke, or maybe it just even changed. Whatever the case may be, it leaves or has left an impact on us. And that impact is what we would be talking about tonight. And so on that note, I welcome our guest here in the person of Daniel, here. And our guest is, can you please give me? He presents a thoughtful and culturally grounded artist and an author who uses his platform not just to display art, but to also provoke thought and document emotion. By focusing on his specific literary works like Mad People Like Us, and its sequel is engagement with the Art to Art initiative, and his philosophical writings has made a name for itself in the creative as well as art industry. Daniel, on that note, I'm bringing you on now to tell us more about yourself and then your art. Can you hear me? Are you with us?
Yeah, thank you very much. I can hear you. I was just surprised. I was checking if there's another Daniel. Like, wow, it's me that. Thank you very much. I appreciate. Okay, so just like said already, I'm Daniel, and I usually say I prefer to be called Dan Light. So just like you said, I'm a visual artist. Let me just say I'm a storyteller. The core of it for me is to tell stories. So everything I do, be it visual art or photography or video editing or the exhibitions and all, I just want to tell stories and make sure that the stories are told excellently. So yeah, that's me.
Well, okay, then this is on a side note, then what would you consider? You know, these days art is subjective, and so what I consider art to me might not be the same to you. So what you consider as art? What is art to you, and how do you hold it so dearly?
Art to me is stories that are told creatively. If you tell a story creatively, even if, because I believe everything has a story, something as little as a stone on the floor has a story, because that stone most likely was not here in the first place. The stone was maybe a rock before, then degradation made it a stone. Then when one guy was angry that one guy was toasting his girlfriend, he carried the stone and threw it on his head, and the stone hit his head, and then the stone moved from where it was before, it moved to another place, and then
Mm.
little by little till the stone gets to where it is now.
Yeah.
So if you can, as much as possible, take that stone and you tell the story of the stone creatively, be it by a documentary or writing or
Mhm.
visual arts, you paint it, or by photography, whatever it is. I believe that is art. As long
Yeah.
as it has a story and it is creative, that is
So
art to me.
speaking, yes. So speaking on that, how has your friendships influenced your art?
My friendships is everything basically. I think I started designing. I started because I did not start with visual arts as it is immediately,
Yes.
but I started designing first, and that was in 2022. Even
Wow.
because I've always wanted to, when you have thoughts, when you have ideas, but
Mm.
you want to express them. That's always been the core of it for me. I just wanted to express those ideas. I just wanted to express it as much as possible. And I was looking for a way to do that. So I saw, as there was a picture that I saw. It was a photo manipulation of a guy. He has a very, very small head and his hands were very, very, very big. It was obviously a photo manipulation. It was not a real picture. So me seeing that picture, I said, oh yes, there are crazy ideas that I have like this inside my head. I also want to be able to do it. So that was what I drew me into graphic design in the first place. Then, so it was even my friend that brought me into it. So my friends are the core. They are the beginning.
Wow.
They are the middle. And I believe they
Yeah.
will also be the end. That is
Yeah.
if there is an end of each and
Well,
every stuff.
yeah.
Every work I've created so far is has been inspired by, because they are my free models that I use most of the times. I use their picture, I use their thoughts. When I wanted to host the exhibition, I reached out to some of them. What do you want me to make art about? And basically, it was what they wanted me to make about that I made art about. So they are the core of it for me.
Well, I like that. I like that you hold your friends as well as your friendship in high esteem. And so, on that note, what is friendship for you, and how have you handled um any friendship loss that must have occurred, maybe at one time or the other?
Okay, for the first question, friendship for me is people
Yeah.
that I can be crazy with, people
Mm.
that we share the same ideologies, people that we share the same, we have the same, not necessarily the same personality, but what is core for me is core for them too. So I can have conversations about those deep stuffs, deep in quotes that are going on in my head, and then they are not like, oh, where are we going to now? This is boring talk. But then they can feel it, and then we are there for ourselves. And that's
Yes.
friendship for me. And then friendship loss. Oh yes, I've lost some friendships over the years. And then
Mm.
yeah, I think at first it used to be something that really, really eats that much. Like, and then I'm always wondering why, what did I do wrong? What could I have done right? What could I have this? What could I have this? What could I have that? But then over time, I begin to realize that you have to classify people in your life. There has to be the people that are very, very, very accessible to you. And then there have to be those that are not that accessible. You have to guard access to yourself. And then when some people leave, you know that okay, obviously you don't need them for the next stage of this your life. And it's a two-way thing. As you don't need them for the next stage of that your life, they also don't need you too. So there are
Mm.
some friendship, and it does not necessarily have to end on a sad note. It can just be okay, yes, it's ended, and that's it. So yeah,
Mm.
that's what friendship has been for me so far.
Oh, I like that you experience a sense of vulnerability with your friends. So, what has been your most recent experience of friendship loss? Could you take us down the memory lane?
Oh yes, very very recent. That I remember the date. Sir. It's December
Wow.
11. December 11. This was actually someone that I thought I was going to do forever with when it comes to terms of friendship. Like we are going to be friends for a long, 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 long while. And even me, I realized that it ended that way. I think it was just a simple discussion, or maybe it was simple to me. And then I said something. What did I even say? I don't think I can really remember what I said. And then um, he went, "Oh, with this stuff," he says, "just forget about friendship. We are no longer friends." And
Wow.
I messaged and messaged and messaged and messaged and like, let's discuss this stuff now. This. But you were not ready to discuss. So the friendship ended. And then I just have to also see that, okay, yeah, maybe this is where this ship has to sail to.
I, I'm so sorry. I have another question to ask, but I don't want it. I wouldn't want to send or pass a wrong signal of intrusion.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, then. This friendship that you spoke about, is it an opposite gender based friendship or same gender based friendship?
So it's an opposite gender.
One opposite gender based friendships. All right. So do you think friendship breakups are talked about enough compared to romantic friendships?
I don't think they are. And then why it's painful for me that
Mm.
people don't really talk about friendship breakup is that I feel like they are much more important than romantic relationships. I feel like they hold stuff there. You know, for someone that you are dating, you're trying to form. You're trying to, okay, you're going on a date. You've picked your clothes for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That whole yes, this is what I'm going to wear. But your friend is the one that walks into your room and see you when your hair is something else, and then the whole room is scattered, and then you're trying to cook at the same time and trying to arrange the room, and you're trying to finish a project. Your friend is that person that is there compared to the person that's, when it's time for the date. Your friend is the one you can tell, alpha guy, this call is already getting too long. Let's cut it still. And then, the both of you still understand yourself compared to romantic relationships and all of those. So I don't think it's been talked about enough. And I think that's a very, very, very painful and sad thing.
Mhm. Okay, then. But personally, since you said that, can you hear me?
Sorry, go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay, I was saying personally, since you say that it's not quite a good thing that it's not being talked about. Have you taken any measures to ensure that it's quite spoken about?
Yeah, not really. Not really. Just little stuffs here and there. But I don't think I've taken any measures to, tell stories of friendship and how. I just feel like that story is not one I'm telling at the moment. There are stories, and just like I said the core of it for me is stories. So I just think that story is not one I'm telling at the moment. So I won't say I'm really, really focused on it and then making a solution and all.
Mm, I get it. So when you lost the friendship that you cited earlier, I mean, what emotions did you pass through?
What's funny for me is that at first I was surprised, and then
Okay.
afterward it was no emotions at all. Like, then I was not just concerned anymore. Like, okay, because for me, when I make my mind about something, I feel like, oh yes, I've made my mind. So at that point it was just like, okay, it's gone, what can I do? That's all. So yeah, I would say neutral, and I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but yeah, I'll say neutral after a brief moment of surprise.
So were there times that you felt like, oh, but were there times that you felt like maybe checking in, but also at the same time restricted yourself from sending that check-in message or check-in text?
Yeah, I can say the first 2 days, but then I
Mhm.
didn't restrict myself because I believe in going all out and then letting people know how you feel, because it's kind of like happened to me. I lost someone very dear. That was in 2024, and then there were a lot of stuff I wanted to say that I cannot even say anymore, even if I change my mind, because now the person has passed on. So that's since that time, anything it is I want to say, I make sure I do it and I say it, because I don't know what can happen tomorrow. I don't know what can happen next tomorrow. So yeah, I sent those tests, but then when I was not getting any reply, I just decided that okay, yeah, this is where it has sailed. Because I see people in lights of seasons. I see people in lights of
Yeah.
purpose. Okay, this is what has to be done at this time. This is what has to be done at that time, and this is the one that is going to span across season and span across purpose. And I believe nothing in my life is coincidental. If the friendship ended, then maybe it was meant to end. I don't know why. Maybe I'll understand later. But right
So
now, I
that
don't understand.
okay. So that means by implication of your last statement, you are out of those who opine that if it is meant to be, it will be.
No, no, no. I don't believe that. If it is meant to be and you don't actually and actively, take charge of it, it's not going to be. It's not
Well,
going to be. But then I just believe personally that God controls my own life, and anything that
mm,
happened in my life is not coincidental. Now I've seen it
mm,
happen over time with relationships and all of those things. I've seen how it happens, both even in decisions I take, the times I was sad, the times I felt disconnected and all. So that's what I believe for me personally. But not generally if it's meant to be to be. That's okay. I can't swear. So
yeah,
that's not right. Yes, let me just say that.
yeah. Mm. So, how has this loss affected your current relations with people?
I think it's kind of like for a while it's made me kind of restrictive because now I
Okay.
don't want to like go all out and then be really really friends. So it won't pay me. For a while it's made me restrictive until I just had to advise myself that okay, you are doing and causing the consequences of the actions on people that did not make it happen to you. So I just had to caution myself and then, continue being all out with care and relations, basically.
Okay. Okay. Now, okay, we are moving on to the next segment. How have you how have you handled the betrayals in friendship? Is there any way that you have been betrayed, maybe by friends and vice versa?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. I can hear you. Did you get what I said?
Breaking. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes. I can hear you.
Okay, so I said for a little while it's made me restrictive, and then I just had to. Yeah, I get what you said. The question about how it affected, like, did it affect in any way?
Mhm. Dan.
Okay, sorry, can you come again with the question? I think the network broke at that period in time.
No, no. Okay, I was asking. We were done with the previous question I asked, and so I was asking if you have ever been betrayed in friendships or in friendships and vice versa.
That would mean, like, first of all, what's the definition of betrayal?
I think definition of betrayal. I mean, betrayal is subjective, and I think that betrayal basically has to do with maybe having been let down, or yes, having been let down by in terms of maybe values and decisions and compromise and stuff like that.
I won't really call it betrayal though. I feel like everybody has their parts in life and then everybody's moving at different paces. Yeah,
Mhm.
they can fall, they can make mistakes, but that also doesn't like make them I think betrayal is a strong word, and then so I'll say no. I'll say no. I don't really see it as betrayal. I just
Okay.
see it as they are moving in their own pace, and I think I just have to be patient with them. And then, if the patience is not patiencing enough, then okay, maybe it's time for us to, just go. And then it's not like as if we are fighting, or it's not like as if we have any grudge with ourselves. It's just happens. Like it just has to. We just have to. Maybe it's because sometimes I believe sometimes love isn't letting go.
Mm,
Like if you hold on to it, even when you are not meant to, at that point you are doing the person more bad than good. I even made an
mm,
artwork about that. I think that was last year, October.
mhm,
I made an artwork. I did a series of artwork that was on this stuff. Sometimes love isn't letting go.
mm.
That's what I think.
Okay, now let's look at betrayal from the aspect of trust. Has there been any way that your trust has been mishandled or broken in friendship?
Yeah, the way it is for me, and I'll
Mhm.
start this by saying I don't know if it's a good thing, I don't know if it's a bad thing, but then the my trust. I think it's myself I trust. Let me put it as that. I trust God and I trust myself. So if you are breaking a trust, it's almost like not like I did not trust you, but then you were not all my hope. You were not
Mm,
all the plan I have. I already have a way that okay, this is how it's going to go if you don't, actually meet up. So
mm,
basically, when you are doing it, it's not like it's surprising to me, almost like I anticipated it. And then just like I said, I don't know if it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. But yeah, that's just how it has been for me. So I'm not really let down because I've made plans for that.
mm. Well, I think that if you'd ask these days, I think for some people, if not a lot of people, trust in friendships, they hold it in very high esteem. And so just a little breach of that trust might basically have the capability of leading to an end of friendship. Let's now in situation whereby you share a very strong sentiment, a very strong aspect of your life with somebody, and then that person then tells it to another person, or maybe you even hear it from another person. Now in that moment we can say that there is every tendency that that friendship would be broken. And even if there's an aspect of reconciliation, things will definitely not still be the same way that they were that they have been used to.
For me, I believe in second chances and third chances and fourth chances and fifth chances
Wow.
and sixth chances and seventh and eighth and ninth and 10. And someone yesterday made me to see that my temperament is choleric. So for me, declare,
Mm,
for me, we continue. That's just how I see it. I don't know how to see you tomorrow and still continue holding the relationship in that light. Like for me, it's people say live every day like it's your last. I feel like that's very, very wrong thing. You can't live every day like it's your last. So same thing with friendship. So I don't treat my friendship every day like it's the last day of the friendship. I treat it every day like it's the first of the friendship.
gotcha.
So I live every day like it's my first, and I bring it into my relationships, to my friendship, and how I live every day like it's my first. If we had an argument yesterday, stayed in yesterday, I tell you yesterday that okay, what you did, I don't like it, blah blah blah, and how. And today we continue today. That's it
Mm.
for me.
Now, so since you say that you leave everything, you offer chances, first, second, third, and the likes. Now, has there been any way that you have been taken for granted as a result of your generous offers of chances?
Oh yes, a lot of times, but then I just feel like it says more about. It's just saying it says more about the person rather that took granted of the chance than it says about me. Because then it's
Mm,
just like you are not emotionally intelligent enough to undo grace. That's how I see it.
mm. Okay, then. Now, there's a question here from YouTube for you by one
Okay.
of our viewers. Yes, and so the question is, based on friendship, what should be the deal breaker, and how long should we trying to build? That question is not quite clear, but I see that they're asking based on friendship, what should we consider as deal breakers, and how long should we hold on in trying to build what we think or perceive might fail? Did you get it?
Yeah, I get it. I think
Yeah.
it's until it's clear that because let me take it like this. For example, there are people. For example, let me use. Jesus called his disciples, his brothers, and then a number of. Look at Peter. A lot of time, Peter that is going to be the person that God was going to hand over the key of the church to, and all of those, and then how he kept disappointing. It's like, Master, what should we do, Master? He was always asking the wrong questions, always misbehaving, always saying, um, even the parts where he told him, he said, Master, you shall not die but live. When in fact, Jesus's stuff was to come and die, and all of those. So those were a lot of deal breakers if you're actually looking at it, like in the way we what we've turned friendship to these days. How we feel like, hey, if they do this and block them, they do this, use the block button, if they do this, use the this, use the this, use the that. That would have been a lot of deal breaker if we actually like dealing this stuff. But for me, friendship is emotional, and friendship is also strategic. Strategic not only as regards life and all of those, even not only as regards business, and then you guys are friends, so you can network, and then because of their network and the connections that they have and all of those, even more than that, friendship is as regards who we are going to work with, as regards who we should do life with. So until it is clear that okay, we are not meant to work this season together, or okay, we are meant to work this season together, but this person is not saying it, and this person is not willing to see it at any point in time, then I think that should be a deal breaker. Because if you know, you at some point, just like I said before, love isn't letting go. If you continue holding on because, oh, I've seen this about this person, I've seen this, I've seen this, I've seen this, we are meant to be like together, I really care for the person, I really this, I really that, but then they are not seeing it. A lot of times, instead of trying to like make sure they see it, it should be a deal breaker at that point. Because when you step back sometimes and let go, that's when they actually see it. And it helps them, because at that point now you're making them responsible for the friendship, you're making them responsible for keeping trust, you're making them responsible for making sure that things go well. And sometimes that responsibility open their eyes that when you are not really concerned about whether they are responsible or not, and you are just teaching them to continue being complacent. So I think when they don't see it, that should be the deal breaker. I'm sorry, what was the second question of that part again?
Okay, let me read it. Okay, the set. Oh shit! Just give me few minutes to check through. Okay, the second question is, and how long should we hold on in trying to build what might fail?
How long should we hold on in trying to build what
What
might
might
fail?
fail? Yes.
I think it's a personal question.
Ah,
I can't answer that for everybody. I
yeah.
can't tell you I can't tell you me if it's looking like it might fail. I still try to do what I can do. But then at that point, I'm not putting myself into everything they are feeling. So
Mm,
when it goes haywire, I'm feeling the weight of someone else's mistake. It's not affecting me. So that at that point, I like try to like detach myself. Why is he trying to like detach my emotional involvement? Why is he trying to make sure that okay, because you are my friend and because of there is something here, let's try to do this. But then, how long should we hold on to?
mm.
It's a personal question. I can't
Ah,
answer for everybody. I can only answer for myself.
but if okay, okay, let's okay, then answer for yourself. Then, how long? Yes, can you order?
How long for me? Say the thing is, if it's not clear, I like clarity. Oh, I like clarity from the bottom of my heart. I want things to be clear. If it's not clear, it's not clear now. I've tried to do everything on my hand to make it clear.
Yeah.
That's that. If it's 2 days, if it's in 2 days, I've seen that okay, it's not clear. You're not willing to make it clear. I'm done. If it's 1 hour, I'm done. If it's 30 minutes, I'm done. If it's not, so I like clarity. I want us to know, okay, like let this be on clear terms.
Yeah.
It's my feel. Are you willing to work it out? Am I willing to work it out? If you are not willing to work it out, I don't force over things I don't have any control over. I have control over my feelings. I have control over the decisions I make. I have control over the things I will say to you. But how you will take them, I don't have control over that.
Yeah.
So the moment I see that, okay, yeah, I've said it, and then is the you are giving me an opposite or a negative reaction, I'm done. So that's it for me. I've answered for myself.
Okay, then I think I share the same. Now let's talk about conflict. How do you handle conflict in friendships?
I handle conflicts in friendship. Okay. I have very little friends. I don't have a lot of friends. I think
Wow.
counting off the top of my head, I have six,
Six. It's not little.
if it's possible. Yeah, I have 6 friends. I have 6 friends. I don't consider any other person. I consider maybe others my colleague. I consider them maybe my boss. I consider them maybe partners. I consider them maybe acquaintances. But friends, I have 6 friends, and whenever we are fighting, what I do is I either go to their house or I call them, and then
Wow.
let me just say it as it is. Especially there's a one of them who's a guy. Whenever we're fighting and I call him, the first thing I say is, "Weary," and then from there, we fight if we have to fight, we laugh if we have to laugh, and then we end it before the next thing we are doing is maybe we are going out, we are going to go and get food together, we are just going out to somewhere, or we are building something together again. And it's always funny how those dark moments of conflict always come out to reveal some great lights. Like the next thing that is coming after, the friendship is getting more and more strengthened with the next thing that is coming from that.
Mhm. Okay. There's another question for you from the YouTube.
These
Are
two
you
people
here?
are asking questions. So
Ah, okay. Let me read it. What connected you to your friends? Was it their values or similarities in goals? And this question is asked based from someone who finds himself in a new environment.
for me, it's values, not necessarily similarities in goals, because
Mm.
I believe we don't our goals don't have to be similar, but our value, that's the core, it has to be similar. Because unity is not everybody doing the same thing. Unity is everybody doing different things to uphold the same value. So I'll say it's more about value, because if it's similarity in goals, see their goal, if his goal is to be a footballer and your own goal is to be an artist, your own goal is to be a professor, is going to be on the field playing ball when you are reading book, when you are reading your book, and when you are going for a nice class, and you are doing day breaks over and over again, and then you're always at the library. So if it's similarity in goals for you, at that point you start seeing them as someone that is unserious. And meanwhile, it's not unserious, it's just selectively unserious. He knows what he wants to be serious with. And you also playing ball, and for him that's purpose, for him that is him going after his goal. And you are in the library, you are reading book, and the both of you are actually doing the same thing. So the both of you value is discipline and commitment to what it is you want. That is why you are in the library, and that is why he's on the field. So if it's about value, you people will be able to actually go more than similarities in goals. Your goals. So for me, it has always been, it is, and it will always be value over
Value.
similarities in goals. Because for me, I even want to have I for friendship for me is, I'm also thinking about my future kids. I want
Mm.
them to know that their daddy have connection everywhere. I want to have a friend that is a footballer, another one that is a this, is a that, and then so
Okay.
it's not about similarities in goals for me, it's values. So
Values.
yeah, the values, if you find yourself in a new environment, it's the values. Watch out for the values. Observe.
Okay, then I'm sure that then your friendship, based on your response, I'm assuming that your current friendship, everyone has different goals, right? Now, and since everyone has different goals in such friendship, then how do you ensure that as friends you all achieve your goals? How do you ensure that since the goals are different? Are there individual contributions, not monetarily, maybe support and stuff like that, to make sure that every one of us achieves our goals in this friendship group
we
or
just we
association?
just make sure we keep our values in check. Like as long as the value is there, everybody is going to achieve their goals, because it's just value.
I didn't get that.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so let me continue. I said goals for me, goals and values for me. Let me say um goals is like a cup that
Mhm.
has red stains in it, and another cup that is very, very clean. Sorry, that's values rather. So immediately you take the water, which is the values, and then you pour it into the cup, which is the goals. The first cup, which that has red stains in it, immediately the goals you are pouring into it carries that red stuff. But then the other cup that is just like that is still clean, regardless of how, regardless of whatever you point it, even though you are pouring the same thing into it, they are coming out differently. So for me and my friends, all we do is we make sure we keep our values in check. If our values are in check, our goals won't be compromised.
Mm.
That's it for me.
Then, so where does our accountability come in?
Yeah, accountability is still in light of the goals. You just have to make sure that they are accountable to the goals. Like, okay, our relationship with God, is it still there? Our relationship to the cause, okay, I'm doing this so I can shape culture. Is it still there? Are you still an artist because you want to shape culture? Or you are an artist now simply because you want to be one of the top artists with your work in a museum, and then you are not concerned about what you have to bend to make sure your work actually get there? Are you still a footballer because you want to influence that place, or you're just a footballer because of the popularity, and then you're not going to say some things because you know you'll be cancelled and you're not going to get to that place you want to go to? So accountability is still with the values, like purpose. Is it still, are you still working in it? If you are not working in it, come here, let's give you 3 knock, reset your brain and send you back if you continue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's it for me and my friends.
Yeah. Okay. I think I agree. And so moving on, are there things that people should avoid doing after a friendship ends?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
let's.
And after a friendship ends, okay, so is there a second part to that question?
No, 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 no.
Okay, so after a friendship ends, I think you should let it end. Like, don't go tomorrow and then you are like, silica alpha now, the friendship, this and this and this and that. If it's clear that it has ended, let it end. Honestly, I just feel like people should not continue trying to force what is not there, because there are a lot of times when your friendship ending is actually like God's will. I was listening to Apostle Femi Lazarus, and then I heard him say something. He said, Abraham gave birth to Ishmael, and Abraham also gave birth to Isaac. If Ishmael had died, it is mercy. But if Isaac dies, it is disaster. So there are things that you give birth to, there are things that you build, and if that stuff does not work, if it fails, it's God showing you mercy. And there are some other things that you build, and then if it does not work, it is you already being in the wrong line. I just feel like some friendships are like that. When a friendship ends, let it end. I swear you will see someone else. I swear you will. You will. And this is not just about friendship, even romantic relationships too. There is no this one person for one person. There's a lot of people. There are 8 billion people on this world. Why will one person be the,
Yes.
you will see someone else that will check in. So if a friendship is ending, let it end.
There is another question for you from YouTube.
You
A
two people.
participant. Yes, that's so that they're actively involved in the
I
conversation.
think, is it my friends that are joining on YouTube? I think some of
Yes,
my
yes,
friends should be on this call.
yeah. And so we have so the question says, should friendship be symbiotic? And what's your say on parasitic friendship?
Yes, friendship should be symbiotic, and parasitic friendship is not friendship. That one
Mm.
is, yeah, they are your clients, and then you are paying them and they are not offering you anything. So yes, friendship should be symbiotic. Parasitic
So,
friendship, there's nothing like that. If it cannot be friendship and still be parasitic, then it's not friendship, or it is not true friendship.
so in other words, we should opt for mutual reciprocity in friendship.
Yeah, mutual collaboration, mutual everything. Just make sure it is mutual.
And so far, I from our conversation so far, I have observed that you in your friendship. I observe that you approach friendship from the lens of Christianity. So how has being a Christian, or how has the guidelines in Christendom have guided your friendship so far and your choice of friends?
Okay, I'm trying to put this somehow, but I don't want it to sound like don't love your job, job your love. So I'm trying to look for another way to put it. Like
I
I actually wanted to say, I don't approach friendship from line of Christianity. Instead, I approach Christianity from the line of friendship. Okay, let me just say it like this. Friendship basically, Christianity rather, let me say it's what influenced my friendship. Although I have friends that are not Christians, like I mean call friends that are not Christians, but still the basis on which I relate with them is still Christianity that sets the basis for it. See, yes, it trains me on what to say, what to keep as core, what to not keep as core, what not to say, how to see it, how to go about it. So basically, Christianity models it. Yes.
okay. Now, and if now, since you said that we should leave our friendship when it ends the way it is. I mean, we shouldn't seek or inquire information as to what happened and stuff like that. Now, I mean, there are still those who would want to seek closure if they never got an explanation on why it ended or how it ended or on why it ended. Now, in such a case, what should the person, I mean, do?
So they want to seek closure on why it's
Yes.
ended and how it's ended. You know, one of the stuffs about knowing if a relationship has really ended is that they are not willing to give closure.
Mm,
Like that's part of it. You know, there are ways relationship and there are relationships that end with okay, this and this and this cannot continue. The both of us have to move. And then there are relationships that you don't just hear from them and then you reach the first day, you reach second day, you reach the third, you reach the fourth, you reach the fifth, you continue reaching and then nothing is happening. Then at that point, you just know it has ended. You continuing to pursue and seek closure, I don't know, it's apart from the fact that it's giving no self-respect, it is
wow.
there's also no horror there. Because I don't understand why you know you try to continue reaching out somebody that does not even want to give you closure. Yeah, closure is very, very important. Like it's always good to end it on a case of okay, yes, this and that. But then if someone is not willing to give closure, that is also an indication that okay, the relationship has ended. So it's always very important to try to get closure. But if closure is not coming, let it end still. Because you have to respect yourself in as much
Yes.
as you respect the friendship.
Yes. 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 You have spoken well. And so just the last question. Uh, what advice would you give to, I mean, maybe your younger self or the younger ones, yes, who are new to the concept of friendship?
What advice will I give to people coming up on friendship, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
first of all, I'm the younger one we are talking about here, so it's almost like as if I'm
Oh,
advising myself.
yes, yeah,
So when it comes to friendship, you know, giving advice to the younger ones, I think it's just do it at your pace, do it at your pace, and respect yourself. Do it at your pace, respect yourself, and not just yourself, respect the other person too. Because it will be a very, very selfish thing to just respect yourself. Then that is being parasitic. Respect yourself,
yeah,
respect the other people, and do it at your pace. That's what I would say because you know doing it at your pace will help you because friendship is a long deal. Relationship basically is a long deal. If you are getting into a relationship and you know especially if it's one that is for whole seasons, just know that it's
yes,
something that is actually going to be very, 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 very long. So you don't have to force anything. You don't have to start modeling it after the friendship you see in K drama immediately, and then the both of you want to start doing all those plenty things that you've seen the two guys saying is it Love
yeah.
and Friends? What's the name of that movie? Do so just do it at your pace.
Yes, I agree with what you've said. So far, it's been a nice time here with Mr. That Light on this conversation of friendship. And so, from what he has said so far, what stood out for me was, I mean, is giving a chance in friendship and not being too quick to, put an abrupt end in our friendships, because first of all, our friends are human before they are our friends, and humans are not perfect. We are always prone to error, and that we shouldn't be considerate so with our friends. And Mr. Dan, thank you very much for gracing the show with your presence. It's been an awesome time with you so
Thank you
far.
very much for having me on the show. I'm very, very
Yes,
grateful. I feel like I've
we
blown. Thank you.
of course you have. And to our YouTube participants and our Google Meet participants, we couldn't have run this show without you. And yes, so we appreciate your presence so far, and we hope that we see you in our continuous episodes and simulations. So till then, see you next time on Inkindle.